Hello everyone, welcome to Season 1, Episode 2 of MediTalks, presented by Mediscape in association with Diva Patil University School of Medicine. And here we'll be discussing about varying lifestyle diseases and COVID-19. I am Dr. Ketan Lakshman Pakle. I am a bariatric physician specialist in metabolic syndrome. I am an assistant professor in D.Y. Patil University School of Medicine and I am a founder of Metabol, a metabolic syndrome clinic. So before proceeding, let us know what exactly is metabolic syndrome. It is a cluster of diseases which comprises of diabetes, obesity, hypertension, dyslipidemia which has HDL cholesterol and triglycerides. What 5 things I have mentioned, when 3 are present in any person, we label them as metabolic syndrome. And when we label them as metabolic syndrome, the incidences of heart problems and coronary heart diseases increases. There are n number of questions which are being put up by the team Mediscape, and the very first question states that there are many people who are suffering from hypertension and obesity. What would be my suggestion on these specific things during the COVID-19 pandemic? As of today, ensuring a good blood pressure control is of primary importance in ensuring the better outcome in the people suffering from COVID-19 infection. How we achieve this goal is of a lesser importance. Initially, when this pandemic had hit the world, there are few articles circulating suggested that ARBs and ACE inhibitors are the people, those who are on this classification of drugs are at the highest risk and their outcome is poor. But these drugs have been proven benefits in improving cardiovascular outcomes, and sudden stoppage of this adequate coverage of these drugs can lead to hypertensive crisis or cardiovascular events in these patients. So as of today, American Heart Association, European Society of Cardiology and many others have recommended to continue this type of drugs during this COVID-19 pandemic as well, due to lack of concrete adverse data. For hypertensive patients, I would suggest them to follow low salt diet and DASH diet. In this DASH diet, we advise the people to reduce the intake of high fat and high carbohydrate diet. With this, their hypertension will also be in a good control. Coming to the second part, what is obesity and how can we control that? Obesity, meanwhile, a report from the Italy suggested that more than 80% of the deaths have occurred with the patient who are obese and are having pre-existing comorbidities like diabetes, hypertension and heart diseases. The more overweight you are, the more fat you are carrying, the less fit you are and lower your lung capacity. This means it is a bigger struggle to get oxygen into the blood and around your body. This impacts on your heart and blood flow too. Because people are more overweight, they have also more demand of oxygen. So that means their system is actually undergoing a great pressure. During an infection like coronavirus, this can be serious. Eventually, the obese body becomes more overwhelmed by the lack of oxygen getting to the major organs. That is one reason why overweight and obese people in the intensive care are more likely to get breathing problems, more likely to go on ventilators and have multi-organ damages. So wearing a mask inside your home is highly recommended, not just to prevent COVID-19 but to stop eating junk food and unwanted food as well. So here I would suggest the obese people or the overweight people to get involved in minimal physical activity as well and control some diet so their fitness starts growing and they become metabolically healthy. Coming to the second part of my question about obesity, A report from the Italy suggested that more than 80% of the deaths have been in the patients with coexisting conditions, including those who are having overweight, obese category, having hypertension, diabetes, and other heart diseases as well. The more overweight you are, the more fat you are carrying, the less fit you are, and lower is your lung capacity. This means what? It is a bigger struggle to get oxygen into the blood and around the body. This impacts on the heart and the blood flow too. Because people are more overweight, they have a demand of more oxygen. So that means the system is actually undergoing a greater pressure. During an infection like coronavirus, this can be a serious trouble. Eventually, the obese body becomes overwhelmed by the lack of oxygen getting to the major organs. That is one reason why overweight and obese people in intensive care unit are having major breathing problems and have multi-organ failures as well. So there are many things which could be done for the obese people and overweight category as well. But we follow a general category of like a concept of PASME approach. P, what is PASME approach? I'll just tell you what it is. P stands for the portion control, cut down the portion of your food. A stands for adding health value to your food. S stands for substitute to your food. If you have an option of ice cream and a substitute, we have a yogurt. So even a flavored yogurt could be very helpful. Take this as a substitute. Another S stands for sleep early to avoid the hunger. M stands for moving the time of eating. Stick to your times of eating. And E stands for eliminating the unwanted food from your diet. Trust me, the PASME approach, what we are practicing, gives wonderful results. Another thing I would like to comment here is start with the minimal exercises. Even the minimal exercises and the body movements can do wonder results. Apart from this, adequate amount of sleep like 7 to 8 hours are definitely helpful. It also avoids the unwanted viral infections and sinusitis problem as well. So the next question asked by the team Mediscape was, what type of diet should be followed in these circumstances, as not every type of food is available. So first of all, I would say like we are already off the street food, off junk food, unless you are calling for Domino's and other junk food or for the home delivery. But here we go for the DASH diet. DASH diet is not about the dash, but it is about dietary approach to stop hypertension. And this diet is not only helpful for the hypertensive patients, but also for the diabetic patients as well as the overweight category patients as well. We also opt out for low fat dietary products. We also go for the high protein diets. We go for even whole grains where there is contained of good amount of proteins, which gives a satiety to yourself and we don't feel hunger for the longer duration of time. So I would suggest to opt out for whole proteins, because we see lot of people are in the race to provide new recipe and post that on the social media, and rather than doing that, I think we should change the trend rather than putting the food products what you are eating, but to post what type of exercise you are doing. So friends, portion control and PASME approach what I have explained before, if you opt out for that, it would be definitely helpful. The next question asked by these people, the team Mediscape, was what is the correlation of older age groups with metabolic syndrome contracting COVID-19? So historically, if we see, viral flu has not been kind to people living with metabolic syndrome. Diabetes was one of the major risk factors that increased morbidity and mortality in people infected with even H1N1 influenza when there was a pandemic of SARS corona as well, that is severe acute respiratory syndrome. Its symptoms span as a spectrum ranging from mild, self-limiting flu to frank pneumonia, acute respiratory distress syndrome, what we call as ARDS, and ultimately leading to death. A greater percentage of people have died even in Europe than in even Asia. There have been suggestions that elderly, frail people living with diabetes, hypertension, which are the major components of metabolic syndrome, and people with comorbidities can worsen the clinical and survival outcomes. Here, older adults like 65 years and older are at the highest risk of severe illness and death from COVID-19, which the report stated. So here, actions what we can take. Take your medications which are already having the underlying health condition exactly which are being prescribed by your doctor. Follow the advice given by them. Develop a care plan that summarize your health conditions and current treatments. Prepare yourself to stay back home for a longer period of time and using this checklist. Why you might be at a higher risk? Although COVID-19 can affect any group or any age group as well, the higher your risk is when you are older. There are reports which suggested that 8 out of 10 deaths are in the adults who are above age of 65 or even older than that. The immune system of older adults weakens with age, making it harder to fight against any infection. Also, older adults commonly have chronic diseases, what we discussed before, that can increase the risk of severe illness from COVID-19. In short, what I would say is people with metabolic syndrome and older age take longer time to recover. That's why you need to be careful. So the next question asked by the team Medscape was, what is my suggestion on metabolic disorder, a stigma or discrimination? So before starting, let me tell you what is metabolic disorder. It occurs when the metabolism process fails and causes the body to have either too much or too little for the essential substances needed to stay healthy. Metabolism refers to all the chemical reaction taking in place in your body to convert or use energy. A few examples, if I have to tell you about metabolism, is like breaking of carbohydrates, breaking down of proteins and fats in the food to release what? Energy. Transforming excess of nitrogen into the waste product excreted in urine. So what all these are? It is metabolism, example of metabolism. So imagine here, if this metabolism is disturbed, how badly it will affect our metabolic health, which can lead to what? Metabolic disorder. Diabetes is one of the most common disorder we see. Obesity is something again we are heard of, and its social stigma also we are heard of. Stigma and what is discrimination? Let me tell you that first. Stigma is the negative stereotype and discrimination is the behavior that results from this negative stereotypes. If I have to put an example here, I get patient who is obese. He comes out in my clinic and tells, sir, I'm not able to face the world. I'm not able to socialize with my friends. What is this? This is social stigma. So there is a potential of psychosocial factor such as stigma, depression, experience to complicate this metabolic disorders and metabolic syndrome. Let's take a simple example again of the obesity. What I told you, the social stigma of the obesity people are already experiencing. Weight stigma is highly pervasive, but its consequences are understudied. So there is a research which was conducted to construct an original generative model called as Cobwebs model. What Cobwebs is? Cyclic obesity weight-based stigma model. This model states what you know. It states that the weight stigma is a viscous cycle, a positive feedback loop wherein weight stigma itself is causing weight gain. Talking simply in Hindi is like मोटापा का कलंक ही मोटापा उत्पन्न करना है. This is what I could say here. So this happens through increased eating behavior due to hormonal insufficiency or disbalance. It can govern by the behavior, emotional and physiological mechanism which will ultimately lead to what? weight gain and difficulty for the patient to lose the weight here. Commonly we talk about social stigma and discrimination. It can make mental health problems worse and stop a person from getting the help they need. That's why we see these patients are always reserved. They go in depression easily because they could not talk. So conclusion here, what I would give you is here, you can help yourself by challenging the stigma, by speaking up, taking the treatment, medications, diet, exercise, just to what? Avoid discrimination. So the next question is, what is the mental condition of the obese patient who are already isolated due to stigmatism? This is actually a big question. And also the general public with COVID-19, what I would suggest for them. So see friends, fear, worry and stress are normal responses for the real threats we get. And at times when we are faced by this uncertain situation or unknown situation, we are bound to get this. So it is absolutely normal and understandable that people are experiencing fear in context to COVID-19 pandemic. There is a psychological toll of this viral pandemic. Persons with obesity who are self-isolating and avoiding social contact are already stigmatized and already experiencing the high rate of depression. Social isolation is at the heart of obesity stigma, which is being published by editor of the Obesity Society. So here I urge these people to talk to the health workers, take expert advice to avoid in going this depression. Talking about general public, I would say that as we are going to live with our dear friend COVID-19 for some more time, so I would urge you people to get into and get growing into a growth zone. Here I would like to discuss something about called as Tichy zone. So what is this Tichy zone? Friends, where do you want to stand in this COVID-19? There are three types of zones here: fear zone, learning zone and growth zone. Friends, which zone you want to choose of COVID-19? I am discussing something about the Tichy zone. There are three types of zone: fear zone, learning zone and growth zone. What is fear zone? When initially this pandemic was started, there was something like I spread emotions related to fear and pass on the messages which I am getting and spreading without confirming them. I grab food. We saw people are grabbing toilet papers and medication which are not required at that current of time. I complain frequently. I get mad also easily. This is the fear zone. Second is the learning zone, where most of the health workers or beyond others are also in this learning zone. What is this about? I stop compulsion of the unwanted food which has been made home. I identify emotion. I became aware of the situation and think how to act. I evaluate information before spreading the false news as well. And now apart from this, there is a growth zone which I was talking about, and we all have to reach this growth zone. What is it about? And most of the health workers, doctors are already in this growth zone. I live in the present and focus on the future. I am empathetic about myself and for the others. I understand that others are giving their best, and so even I should give my best. I keep myself happy and my emotional state is happy, so I could spread the hope and light for the future. So friends, it's your decision which zone you have to stand. Thank you so much. So friends, before signing off, after working in the wards and hospitals, seeing a lot of patients of COVID-19 and reading a lot about COVID-19, I have come to the conclusion, and I would just state that in the age of COVID-19, metabolic health is the most important than ever. Last but not the least, I would congratulate the team Mediscape who has organized MediTalks, the care which never quits, and they are exactly going the tagline what they have kept for this MediTalks. Wish you all the best. Thank you so much.